Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the recent volatility we've seen in the price of cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin, talking about some of the news that's fueling this volatility and the impact these price fluctuations are having on crypto-dependent companies like Bitcoin miners, specifically Hut 8 Mining and Bitfarms Ltd. Now, before we get into all that, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. And let me know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares in either one of these companies, what you think about the recent developments and news in relation to Bitcoin, and how you're positioning yourself moving into 2022. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the recent price action we've seen with Bitcoin and cryptos across the board. Now, Bitcoin has been on a major pullback over the last couple of months. For those of you who regularly watch my channel, you know I've been trying to take advantage of this pullback by loading up on crypto mining related companies, specifically call options on Hut 8 Mining and Bitfarms Ltd. So we're going to talk about the impact of Bitcoin's recent jump here on those two companies in a second. But before we get into it, I wanted to talk about the major news that we're seeing as Bitcoin starts to really move up in a strong way based on some of the geopolitical tension we're seeing in Europe, specifically the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And as you can see with this article here, it came out March 1st, Bitcoin jumps 13% as Russia-Ukraine conflict continues and US imposes further sanctions on Russia. And I think the second bullet point in this article is super important because it really does mark a paradigm shift in the way the investment community and the world is looking at Bitcoin specifically. So you can see Bitcoin proponents have seen Bitcoin as a safe haven asset or digital gold equivalent, but that definition or theory has unraveled recently. So for a long time, people or investors viewed Bitcoin as independent from the securities market or the stock market itself. But what we've actually seen is as the stock market sold off in the last couple of months, cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, really mirrored that and started to sell off or drop in price in tandem with the stock market. So this really marks a major change in that theory or thesis. One expert said this is changing and Bitcoin is now having a watershed moment. So really we're seeing that inflection point where Bitcoin is diverging from the stock market in general. The stock market continues to go down. However, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is now starting to trend upward. And the article then goes on to talk about a number of the reasons why they feel this may be happening. So number one, Russians are now moving their money into Bitcoin as a way to avoid sanctions and a way to preserve their wealth. The other option here is really we're starting to see cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, being used in the form of donations to help the Ukrainian population. And overall, as you can see in the article, it's really a way to separate economics from politics. And that was the exact reason cryptocurrency was created, was to decentralize monetary policy and to separate politics from economics. So that's exactly what we're seeing. And this, in my mind, is really the big benefit of cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin. And this thesis is now really starting to come to fruition as we're starting to see major geopolitical tensions across Europe. And that's laid out in the second point here, crypto to evade sanctions. Bitcoin's rally comes as the US imposes further sanctions on Russia. Washington has now targeted Russia's central bank, effectively prohibiting Americans from doing any business with the bank, as well as freezing all of its assets within the United States. So for any people that are wanting to interact with Russia or the Russian economy, they now are forced to cryptocurrency. And on the flip side of that, the Russian population, especially the wealthy population there now, is starting to move their money into cryptocurrencies because they can no longer freely operate in the historical Russian economy or with traditional currency. And as we continue to scroll through the article, you can see they expand on Bitcoin's watershed moment. So over the years, Bitcoin proponents have touted the cryptocurrency as digital gold. and Ethereum is digital silver, an asset that provides a safe haven for investors during times of turmoil or even as potential hedge against inflation. So for me, it was really frustrating to see inflation hitting 40-year highs. Bitcoin is supposed to be a hedge against inflation, but Bitcoin prices were continually dropping. And again, we're now starting to see that change. So Bitcoin has not performed that way, or as people like myself would have expected. Instead, it has been more correlated to the movement of stock prices, even as inflation continues to hit multi-year highs, which is what I just mentioned, and a military conflict plays out. However, we're starting to see this change in recent weeks, specifically the last couple of days here, as Bitcoin is now starting to take off in a very bullish way, while the stock market in general continues to downtrend and inflation continues to remain high. Now the article goes on, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are arguably having their watershed moment against backdrop of global uncertainty and tensions related to the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Crypto is now decoupling from traditional markets like stocks and equities and can clearly be seen in the performance. And Michael Rinko notes $38,000 US is a very key level for Bitcoin. People are now accumulating in a major way. More people bought at $38,000 than at any other level by a long shot. So this is really seen as a key time for Bitcoin. They're now starting to decouple from the traditional markets. Bitcoin is now starting to act more like it was designed to do as a hedge against inflation, geopolitical fears. It's supposed to act inversely to the stock market, and that's now what we're starting to see, which makes me super excited as an investor in this space. Now, before we get into the company-specific portion of this video where we talk about Hut 8 Mining and Bitfarms Ltd, I wanted to bring up iTrust Capital. Now, I'm going to be putting a video out on iTrust later this month and talking about the platform in detail, but a lot of people in recent weeks have been asking me how they can go about getting exposure to cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin specifically, and I think this is really a great option for those of you who reside in the United States. So as you can see on the landing page, iTrust Capital allows you to invest in crypto through your IRA or Roth IRA. So your retirement savings account can now be used to harness the power of cryptocurrency. On the website here, it talks all about their pricing, how the model works, about the company itself. You can see here they just raised $125 million to push their valuation to over $1.3 billion. This is a very well-liked platform with over 100,000 accounts already created and 5-star rating on Google. So again, if you're looking for ways to invest in cryptocurrencies, you want to hold the physical coins yourself, but you're not sure how to do that, especially in a retirement account, I would definitely recommend you take a look at iTrust Capital. I'll leave a link in the video description below. The other thing I wanted to point out here is they actually offer a wide variety of cryptocurrencies, so you can see all their various offerings. Now Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum are some of the bigger ones, so you can see those are listed, but there really are a variety of coins offered by iTrust Capital. So again, I would definitely encourage you to take a look if you reside in the States and you're looking at various options. Now, with that being said, I now wanted to move into the company-specific portion of this video. So again, we're going to be talking about Hut 8 Mining, which is currently my largest position in the crypto space. This is a Bitcoin mining company based here in Canada. And as you can see, this is a chart over the last 5 days. They actually bottomed out on last Thursday, February 24th, at about $6.65 Canadian. And they're now flirting with $8 as of close on February 28th. So you can see on Monday, they closed out about 7% on the day, up 49 cents per share. Again, market cap on Hut 8 is about $1.3 billion. So I would say they're kind of a mid-cap player, not quite the size of Hive or Marathon Digital, but definitely larger than some of the smaller companies we've talked about on the channel. And again, my strategy here, you guys, is buying long expiration call options. So January 2024 calls, $5 and $8 strikes. And I think if we see a reversal in Bitcoin here and we start to see Bitcoin come back to some of those 52-week highs, the price of Bitcoin, specifically these call options, could absolutely explode. Now, Hut 8 Mining just updated their website with their new hash rates. They've been expanding their computing power. They've been increasing their hash rate. They also bought a data services or data center business. So this is a company I'm super excited about. I've watched a ton of interviews from the CEO. I think it's super well managed. and they're really set up for a lot of success into 2022 and 2023. Now, Bitfarms Ltd is the other play in the crypto mining space within my portfolio. You can see an absolutely massive day on Monday for Bitfarms, up just over 15% per share, or 63 cents Canadian, to close out at $4.81. And again, just last week, you guys, this company was trading in the range of $3.69. So even if you bought in over the last couple of days, you've already done really well. The next article here talks about Bitfarms' production update for the month of February. So we'll take a quick look there as well. But Bitfarms has a ton of growth expected for 2022, slightly smaller than Hut 8 Mining, so about $900 million market cap, but another major player in this space that I expect to do extremely well over the next couple of years, especially if we continue to see the price of Bitcoin climb and really decouple from the market, which is what we're starting to see in recent news here. And this is actually the production update I just referenced. So Bitfarms provides February 2022 production and mining operation update. A couple of the highlights here, you guys. Mining production, they're now sitting at 2.3 exahash. 298 Bitcoin mined during the month of February, which was up nearly 70% year over year. That worked out to an average of about 10.6 Bitcoin mined each and every day in the month of February, so virtually in line with Hut 8. Now, the reason Hut 8 has a higher market cap is because they actually have a larger reserve or Bitcoin held in their possession. Now again, very similar to Hut 8 Mining, they deposited virtually everything they mined within the month. So they deposited 283 Bitcoin out of the total 298 into custody, which is great to see. Obviously, these companies don't want to have to sell or convert their Bitcoin to cash when the prices are down like we've seen in the last couple of months. And in terms of total custody, Bitfarms is now sitting on just under 4,900 Bitcoin as of February 28th, which works out to about $210 million US based on a $43,000 US per Bitcoin price. And again, both companies are ramping up production exponentially, so I definitely encourage you to go in and take a look at the mining operation updates as well. They've actually got 7,400 new Bitcoin miners capable of approximately 740 petahash that have been received in February or are now in transit. So long story short here, you guys, I think we're seeing a major shift in the mindset around cryptocurrency and Bitcoin specifically across the world. We're seeing Russia harness the power of Bitcoin to get around sanctions. We're seeing Ukraine harness the power of Bitcoin to generate donations or attract donations to support their country. And really, whatever side of the fence you're on here, we're seeing the true value of cryptocurrency because it does allow you to decouple politics from economics, and that was really the intention of cryptocurrency when all of this was created. So for me, as a major bull on Bitcoin, I think the world is now starting to wake up to how important cryptocurrencies are and really the role they play in the world moving forward. I think this is great news for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in general moving forward. That's why we're seeing this big share price appreciation in the last couple of days. And as a result, that's impacting some of the companies that I invest in, like Hut 8 Mining and Bitfarms Ltd. So with that being said, I definitely think cryptocurrency belongs in everyone's portfolio moving into 2022. I don't think crypto and Bitcoin are going anywhere in the near future. I think the recent pullback represents a great buying opportunity. Again, if you're looking at ways to do that, I would definitely recommend you take a look at iTrust Capital's website, which I'll leave linked in the video description below. You'll also see a link to BlockFi. So if you're not looking necessarily for IRA options, or maybe you reside outside of the United States, BlockFi is a great place to park your cryptocurrency. You can actually earn interest while you have your money in that platform or your crypto on that platform. I personally use that service myself. I think it's great. So again, link in the video description below. Let me know what you think about the recent move in Bitcoin that we've seen over the last couple trading sessions. Also curious to hear your thoughts on Hut 8 Mining and Bitfarms, specifically in relation to some of the bigger mining plays like Marathon Digital, Hive, or Argo Blockchain. Thanks so much for watching today, you guys. If you're still here at this point, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button. If you're not currently subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. That's all for now. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.